Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. While we try hard to stick to language for all ages, listeners should know that this podcast will include mature themes and scenes. This actual play uses the Delta Green role-playing game rules by Arc Dream Publishing. All content, including names, places, events, companies, and etc., which may bear resemblance to entities living or dead, is strictly coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your handler. You're all cordially invited to a night at the opera. Good evening, and thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Old Ways podcast. I am your handler Michael Diamond, and I have returned with another act of our Impossible Landscape series. We are again playing Delta Green, and we have some wonderful scenery for you to chew on tonight. At the top of the show, as I like to do, I'd like to thank you, the audience, and you especially, our esteemed Patreon supporters. If you've not had a chance to check out what we have to offer, you can at patreon.com/theoldwayspodcast. We would also encourage you to search out and subscribe to us on YouTube, as we are making our charge for 1,000 subscribers. And now, an introduction of our cast. To my right.
Hi, this is Miranda, and I'm playing Erin Weber, aka Agent Olivia Dartford, and I think a nice breeze in this room will really spruce the place up.
I mean, it will definitely change the current palette that your olfactory glands are picking up. So let's see how that works out for you. To Agent Dartford's right.
Hello, everyone. I'm your friend Nate. I'm playing Elliot Winters, Diplomatic Services Special Agent for the U.S. Department of State. An X marks the spot. Night floors on this map are a little too interesting for me.
I think that's a fair assessment of the current situation. And at the end of the table.
Hi, this is Allie, and I am playing Agent Joanne Hart, or my alias, Agent Ophelia Ward.
And last but certainly not least.
Hi, my name is Tegan, and I'm playing Agent Brett Hawking of the NCIS, Young Buck. And we are currently, I want you to picture me in a hotel room bed, wearing nothing but a pair of white socks, a pair of boxers, and a Sony Walkman with over-the-ear cheap headphones.
It's quite the image. So I think that's an excellent place to start. Agent Hawking, your time as far as you get called around here, Agent O'Neill, has been fairly short-lived at this point. The investigation is just getting going. And after talking with Thomas Manuel yesterday, you think it was yesterday? Maybe it was early this morning? It's hard to piece out at this point. You're really tired. And that burrito is starting to do really funny things inside your esophagus. Maybe it was that green sauce. You're not sure. It's clear that this guy was taping Abigail Wright's apartment for a reason. There's got to be something on this tape. And you've been listening to it now for the better part of 10 minutes. And all you have is air. The room. The slow and steady hiss from an open microphone. But persistent as you are, you continue to listen. And you continue to listen. And you get a little drowsy. That hiss pushed directly between your ears begins to get a little comforting. And even through the indigestion, your body starts to feel the massive carbohydrates. And even though you're shaking it off, you can start feeling the call of sleep. And you're not sure whether or not you fall asleep first, or you hear this, but you hear something.
Who is it? Yeah, no, just 1 minute. Come on in. It's beautiful. What's it made of? I'd love to try it on.
Yeah, Debbie. It's David. Yeah, I don't know. This place is weird. I've been looking for this junction box for, I don't know, an hour. Yeah, this place is it's all fucked up. No, there's no signal here at all. I'm using some stupid payphone here they have in the lobby. Yeah, no, I'll be done with this as soon as I can. It's just a disconnect. All right. Thanks. They don't pay me enough for this. No, I haven't seen her, man. I don't know. I guess she was going out or something. Oh, they had some sort of going away party for her. 4th floor. In the smoking lounge. I'm not sure. I mean, she moved on. She figured it all out. I guess it's different for everyone. It's fairly clear as you now sit upright on the hotel bed, the cover barely disturbed. That microphone picked up an awful lot more than just a few hours of hissing.
That was disturbing. Okay. I got to think logically here. Do I recognize any of the voices there? There was definitely a David. We haven't met a David. Was one of those voices Thomas?
Yeah, the voice at the end is definitely Thomas. It sounds like the microphone maybe picked up him talking to somebody in the hallway. And given your experience as an investigative law enforcement officer, you can tell the battery of questions that he's being presented with, even though you can't hear the person questioning him, which is, again, a little strange. That's somebody questioning him is searching for something or searching for someone. You do remember hearing from the NYPD who was here, or hearing by way of your compatriots, that they did question people in the building. So maybe just they didn't pick up the other voices when they were questioning him. But that's definitely Thomas's voice at the last portion of the recording.
And correct me if I'm wrong, we've got Thomas and 3 or 4 other people in the building?
Correct. Yeah, so Abigail and Thomas are on the first floor, 1A and 2B. And then you have a listing of a couple people on the second floor, and then a single occupant on the third floor. Obviously, the second and third floor has not been investigated to this point.
So no 4th floor, no smoking lounge on the diagram.
No.
And that first segment on the audio, something about wearing something. Did I recognize that voice?
You did not.
Okay. What time is it? Have I been able to sleep?
You haven't really slept. It's about noon. Maybe you slept. It's really fuzzy. You're tired. The exhaustion inside of you is too high to be overridden by the adrenaline.
Okay. Well, we probably started our shifts at 5 or 7 p.m. a couple days ago or a day or so ago. So I might be able to get the afternoon asleep. There's at least blackout curtains in this room, right?
Yep, you bet.
All right. I'm going to wait until I'm going to try to get some rest and wait until I get to the actual appointed time to come and go in with Ward in the evening. Hopefully Ward's gotten some sleep.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm going to move our set piece here back to the Macallistar, where Agent Bennet and Agent Dartford are about middle to maybe 3/4 through the shift they're working. We'll say it's probably been about 15 minutes or so since you've found the play.
Time would that make it?
We'll say that it's roughly mid-afternoon at this point. You're probably looking like a lunch break is in your future. You've cleared a considerable amount of the room, and at least you've cleared off that one wall and kind of started on a next one close by. You feel like you're about, I don't know, maybe 30% through this business. There's a lot of cataloging that you're doing.
Most important, did we get the window cleared off? Is there sunlight in this joint?
Yeah, there is. Well, it's an overcast day today, but there is actual light. And what is even more enticing is that there is a breeze that comes in through the alley. And yeah, it's a New York City alley. And so there's all sorts of different smells that come in here, but they are different smells.
I welcome the scent of a New York alleyway compared to what we've been going through in this apartment. So what do you think, Bennett? You ready for a lunch break? Get out of this place for a little bit. Get away from this creepy mess.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to take a break from this place for sure. Those burritos are still sitting with me, pretty nice. But I could use some of the sunlight on my head if we can get out of here. But I do wonder. It's about noon, right? I do wonder about this Mr. Castigy, the super. I wonder if we might be able to knock on his door before we take out.
Maybe we go see if he's around. Maybe we can grease the wheels a little bit, see if he wants us to pick something up for him while we're out too.
That's a plan.
Okay, so how would you like to accomplish this?
Step 1, where is a super?
You're not really sure. You've really only been on the first floor. There are some stairs in the building.
Does he likely have does he live here?
Hard to say.
Well, none of the mailboxes had his name on him, did they?
That's correct.
Well, we could just, maybe ask around too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe are investigating. Pick a door. Any door.
Let's just pick a door on this floor and ask him where the super is.
Yeah.
Reckon it's probably on the first floor. Handler would just walk out and not Mr. Manuel, but any other likely door. We'll just pound on it.
Okay, so you head out from Abigail's apartment, and I'll just ask this because I think it's important, an important part of the process. Are you shutting the window? That's question 1. Question 2 is, are you shutting and locking Abigail's door when you leave it?
I'm tempted to say no.
Well, I would know proper procedure would be to secure the scene. And so I'd shut the window. I might even consider some tape on the window, and then I would shake my head, and that's a step too far. I just want to get out of this place. But definitely shut and lock the window, lock the door, take the key. I mean, it's an somewhat active crime scene.
See, proper procedure in my line of business is to have adequate ventilation when working with chemicals.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, Dartford. We just don't want anyone climbing up the walls or into this place. And I mean, the girl is kidnapped, so we do want to. Wait, you were joking. I'm sorry. That place is really getting to me. I didn't catch it. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I wasn't joking.
And I will nod and awkwardly walk off to a random door.
Okay, so it's not so random. You're really limited to, frankly, one other door on this floor. And on this floor, you get to a apartment at the end, and that is 3A. You knock on the door. It takes probably no less than about 15, 20 seconds for the door to open, and you are greeted by a older, we'll say middle-aged white Caucasian male. His name's on the front of the building, R. Karun. He scratches a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow, probably left over from yesterday. Seems to be scratching at something on his chin. I help you?
And I've got my FBI badge already out. I'm holding it up. Sir, I'm sorry to bother you. Agent Oscar Bennett, and this is Special Agent Olivia Dartford. We're with the crime scene down the hall, and I'm just, real quick, I was just wondering if you could point us towards your superintendent, Mr. Castigue. We just would like to knock on his door, ask him a question or two.
Who?
Mr. Castigue. I believe that's a super in this building. Castigue.
No, I don't know who you're talking about. So, Dartford, visually, this guy doesn't make any sense. He is wearing it's not a sweater, it's a cardigan. It's orange. It's sort of like maybe orange is a strong word. Ochre? Like a light pumpkin? It's very strange. It's an off color, even for this era. He's wearing khaki pants, but he's wearing like very yellow khakis. They clash a little. He's wearing some slippers as well. One is black and one is blue. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know who you're talking about.
Is there any super for this building?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the building's got it's managed. It's a managed property. He seems a little frustrated.
Yeah, but so who do you call then when, I don't know, your sink's on the fritz?
Call? I fix it myself.
I roll my eyes. Yeah, but okay, your AC's out. Your heat's not working. Who do you call?
Oh, yeah. LaChance is her name. She's a lady at the Art Life who owns the building.
Okay.
She's nice and all, but she's useless.
Does she have an apartment in the place? How do you contact her?
No. She doesn't have a place in the building. She works at a office building a few blocks away. I've had to go down there once because I had a problem with my keys.
No, what was the problem?
Oh, a couple of years ago, there was a New Year's Eve party. A place full of artists like us. We tend to have some pretty great parties, you can imagine. But somebody got into my apartment and they took my apartment keys as a joke. And it stopped being funny when they couldn't find them.
Oh, so you knew the person then?
Yeah, they don't live here anymore.
So there's no one that comes around and just does regular maintenance or anything?
No, the only people that really come around here, as far as maintenance goes, it's been a while. I think we had a cable guy in here once.
Mr. Kroon, you said place full of artists like that. Are you an artist also? We know Abigail was an artist, and it looks like fella down the hall might be into something. What's your gig?
Well, he sort of straightens the cardigan a little bit. I'm a writer.
What kind of stuff do you write? Was anything I would have read maybe, or?
You read a lot of pornography?
Maybe, who knows?
He smiles. It's a joke.
Oh, okay. Oh, thanks.
No, science fiction. That's my thing.
Sorry, I'm not good at bluffing.
You want a cup of coffee or something?
Sure.
He turns around like absentmindedly, just walks into his apartment.
I'm gonna give Dartford a look and just raised eyebrow. Sort of, what's the play here?
I don't know. I'm a doctor. So this is new. I just thought that's what you would say. Did you notice though that guy's a little discombobulated? He's got like the wrong. He doesn't look right.
It doesn't look right. How? I didn't notice anything.
Yeah, he just looks. I don't want to say it's not really disheveled, but like stuff's mismatching. He doesn't. He just looks weird and he hasn't put any thought into what he was wearing or how he looked or anything. Mismatching.
I mean, I did notice his shoes, but that's...
Yeah, but everything just looked like that. Like, wrong.
All right. Well, I didn't notice that, but I do think it's odd that we got this Castigue, but it's actually LaChance, and...
Well, and I mean, you guys said things were weird in that other guy's apartment, so maybe if we go in this guy's apartment, then there'll be more weird things.
He walks back towards the door. Yeah, listen,
Oh, sorry, Mr. Karoon. We're just conferring about another item.
No, I'm sure. It's okay. Listen, I don't want to be a bother. I know that you don't want to be a bother to me. I'm sure that's part of the whole spiel here, but I got to get back to work. You understand? So, listen, I'm sure that whatever you need, the folks at ArtLife can get you whatever information in the building you might want. Just do them and me a favor and go someplace else. You see him put like a hand on the door.
I mean, surely not put my hand up. Surely you want to find this young lady, though. I mean, it's a little bit worrisome how she disappeared. Doesn't that worry you?
This is New York City, pal. People go missing all the time.
That doesn't make it okay.
He narrows his eyes. I have a deadline to get to.
Just one more thing, Roger. What's the deal with your shoes? You walk around like this all the time?
He looks down at his shoes. Walk around? I'm a writer. I work from home. You should try it. It'll be all the rage in the future.
Wow. Even if I was whatever this working from home was, I can't imagine I put on different shoes. Is everything all right? You on some medication? Anything I, as a federal agent, should know about? Seeing as you're right down the hall here from our missing girl?
Any prescription medication I might be on, pal, is between me and my doctor. And you should know that as an officer of the law.
Oh, yeah, I know it. I just wondered if you might be forthcoming with the information.
It's sad what happened. I'll give you that. Abigail was a nice girl as far as I knew. A little strange, but we all are.
Well, we appreciate you taking time out of your day to talk to us. No, we're sorry to have bothered you. We'll be on our way.
Thanks. You hear in the background a dot matrix printer start up. He shuts the door.
I guess we ain't getting that coffee.
I guess not.
If you reckon there was someone else in that apartment with him?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I heard anyone. I mean, if there was, it could be nothing.
Yeah, me neither. So, who fired up the printer?
I don't know, maybe maybe he printed something while he was back in there. I don't know. And what's up with the super? Not the right name. And
We'll look up into that and see. Man, this place is all full of weirdos.
It is, yeah. Artists, am I right?
I mean, to be fair to the weirdos here, you've only been on the first floor.
Well, that was sort of a bust. Maybe we can get into the basement.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's head on down. See if there's a stairwell or...
There's definitely nothing weird or creepy in a basement.
No, other than apparently an entire room full of Mr. Manuel's artwork, which I'm sure is nothing but pleasant and easy on the eyes.
Okay, so if you head outside, which is the way you'd have to do it, there's a small door near the outside stairwell that leads down into the basement. That door, of course, is locked, but you have a set of keys to Abigail Wright's apartment, and the second key on that ring is a basement key. So you open the door to the basement, and there is a tight stairwell that goes in a couple of steps and then goes left and immediately down. There is a single fixtureless bulb that hangs from the ceiling here, just on a simple electrical cord. It is the lone light on the stairway. Bathes the area here in a deep amber light.
It was already on. Unlock the door.
Oh no, you have to turn it on via the light switch.
Okay.
I didn't think two agents were going to step into a stairway when it was completely dark, though, so I apologize if I've assumed that you're going to turn the light on.
Just keeping track. You know, Darford is sort of embarrassing. You ever read that book, Salem's Lot?
No.
So I read it when I was a kid. No matter what, whatever I'm going downstairs in like a basement or whatever, like there's a part in the book where the vampires, they mess with the stairs in the basement, and years later, every single time I'm going downstairs, I'm thinking about that little scene, and I start walking down the stairs.
Thank you for sharing that with me.
Each step on the stairs here is preceded and echoes back its own specific creak. They create a harmony of sorts almost as the two of you explored further beneath the Macallistar building. And I'll be back with you in just a little bit. I'm going to move camera to Agent O'Neill, who has been unable to get back to sleep because they continue to rewind and re-listen to that strange series of sounds at the end of that tape. I would like you, if you would be so kind, Agent, to make me, I'm going to say human.
Mine is base 60, so I don't know if I needed to roll for that.
Yeah, I think with 60 base, you can probably pick this up after listening to it for a couple times. And that is that you are fairly certain that the first voice on the tape is having a conversation with a violin.
Okay. Is that voice, to my perception, would O'Neill see that voice as male or female?
It's really hard to say. Yeah, Brett is probably going to land on the female side.
And they're having a conversation with some sort of stringed instrument.
It sounds strange. It's definitely strange to listen to, but the tone of each one of the responses by this violin are different. They each have similar but different tones, pitches. And as you stare at that tape recorder, your Walkman, the only conclusion you can come to is that whoever that person is, they're talking to a violin.
Okay. I also play a stringed instrument, but not one with a bow. So I might be able to understand notes and what slides from what note to what note, but I don't know if that doesn't tell me anything, does it?
Not really. You don't have anything sort of to correlate. It's much like any sort of signal intelligence in that matter. You don't have a base to work off of when it comes to the message that the violin is trying to communicate.
All right. I'll write down some notes on the notes that I hear, but I don't expect to see anything in that. It's always good to write things down. Okay, if I can't sleep, then I guess it's time to go in.
Okay, fair enough. So, Agent Ward, you, on the other hand, have had the opportunity at this point to get about 6 hours of sleep, which is reasonable enough for you to have woken up back at your hotel or motel and begin to wonder about what's going on at that damn building.
Chances are very good that I'm going to go back to the building and check in with my partners in crime to see how much progress they've made, or if they've wandered off to maybe do some research or some recon of some sort. And hopefully they've left me a note.
So we'll just say, for consistency's sake and for ease of storytelling, that you and Agent O'Neill arrive back at the Macallistar around about the same time. We'll say that, Ward, you're in the building first, and you stop at Abigail Wright's closed and now locked door. And that's when, O'Neill, you come onto the stage.
I by the way, picked up a 2 liter of Mountain Dew and some chili cheese fries.
Right, begin.
Do we also have a key, or was there just one key for the apartment?
There was a single copy of the keys made for Abigail's apartment. They were left with the other agents here.
Yeah, but I'm just going to check the front door.
The apartment you can enter without issue. The subsequent doors therein, that is the issue.
Absolutely. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to try that door.
It's locked.
Oh, shit. Hey, Ward, do you got any of the others' phone numbers? Let me look and see if I got their phone numbers in my phone.
Well, I imagine that you would have the phone numbers, given that I do not have a cell phone.
You don't have a cell phone?
No.
You got like a pager?
Yes.
Yeah, do I? Yeah, I think I must have their numbers. Like, that would be the standard thing to do early on.
I'll tell you what. Why don't we have Brett roll luck? It's a nice coin flip there.
I'm not going to win a luck roll. It's a 50-50 chance. I'm going to lose that. I've succeeded. I have succeeded. I failed at failing.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I'm going to say that at some point during the during some of the investigative portion where you were all in the same room together, you and Agent Bennett were intelligent enough to swap phone numbers.
That's surprising. I really thought I probably would have like swapped phone numbers with Ward and Dartford. But yeah, that's fine. Bennett, that makes sense.
It's the cop vibes. He gives off cop vibes.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and call. I'm going to go ahead and click over through the little menu on my little phone. Bennett, it's not too far. It's in the B's. That's sweet. I'll click send, go, call.
You click the green phone button, which also has an icon that says call. So the basement of the Macallistar is concrete floored, probably a little cracked. There's probably an awful lot of just stuff here. There's probably some remainder furniture that's got, old bed sheets that have been thrown over it. And each one of the apartments has its own sort of distinct stall, which is like I don't want to say it's a barn door, but it's like a sliding wooden door for each one. Most of them are locked, but they do have corresponding apartment numbers. It's fairly easy to find Thomas's stall.
Is it locked?
No, it's not locked at all.
Is it an active studio space, as he gave us information to believe it would be?
Well, that begs the question. You can open the door.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's not a cage. No, heck yeah.
No, it's the foundation down here is concrete. The walls are concrete. The little subdivided spaces are all concrete boxes, in effect. You pull open the sliding door and you look in the space. So the space has a fair amount of painting supplies within it. And I think fair amount might be an understatement. There are easels. There are several different oil pans, different color palettes here that have been used. To say, is this an active space, would be an understatement. Clearly, Thomas has been painting down here, and painting recently. There are 3 plastic pails of some kind of substance. They're stacked up in the middle of the room. It sort of stands out immediately. You smell a little paint thinner in here.
I guess he did do his work down here.
Are there examples of his work down here?
There are examples of his work down here. Are you going to search the space effectively?
Yes. Yeah.
So there are several paintings within the space. The central pails smell like linseed oil. So that's just something you sort of make note. There's a note taped to them that says for Sammy pickup. You're not sure what that means. There are paintings that are stacked to the side. And as you go through them, you get sort of a rundown of what they are. Not all of them are complete. There are some blank canvases. You can also tell that some of the canvases that are here are painted over, like they've been painted with flat white or flat grays, probably to be reused at a later date because Thomas wasn't happy with them. You see, one has a child-sized clown in yellow and blue. It sort of cavorts on a stage. There is a trailing white paper dragon behind it. You flip through, and for you, Dartford, you see a sort of haunting image of a white-faced specter standing on a rug at the top of the stairs in sort of this middle of this conflagration. The rug is sort of this strange aquamarine color. And then the other one that sticks out is a young, thin man with a wispy, thinning blonde hair. He's wearing a hospital Johnny, and it's duplicated in a mirror. His mirror twin is deformed, muscular. There's a misshapen head. The fourth painting is of a strange landscape. It's wide, yellow, brown. And in the distance, there are either hills or maybe a castle far off. You're not sure. The sky has been wide brush painted in a furious cross-sectioning. And you can make out there in the bristles that there was a definitive amount of effort that was placed into this painting. Almost as if Manuel put a huge amount of information into it. His energy that went into this painting. At the back, the final one, is a blank canvas. It's labeled "My Great Work." It stands empty.
Doctor, what you know about lead poisoning?
Oh, I mean, I'm not that kind of doctor, but I do work with chemicals, so I know some about lead poisoning. Handler, how much do I know about lead poisoning? There's like a general common knowledge about lead poisoning.
You probably would know, I would imagine, given your intelligence and your profession, you'd know a fair about lead poisoning if you just sat and thought about it, like what would be in some of the older paints that were used. Is this an aspect or an outcome of somebody having gone through lead poisoning? It's possible.
Yeah. Or you could just be a tortured artist. Who knows?
Yeah, and the reason I ask, I mean, imagine sitting down here in this little closet, door closed, painting all these things with these oil paints and chemicals and solvents, and I don't know. You think maybe that might be one? I don't remember. Did you meet him, or did you had stayed at the apartment?
Dartford stayed at the apartment. She did not meet Thomas.
Oh, so you didn't meet him. Okay. And one of the things that struck me about the fella is he didn't have a good memory. He didn't remember things that were obvious. He didn't see things. I'm just trying to put together what might have happened with his head. You think these chemicals might account for it?
I mean, they could if he is down here. This isn't a large area. I doubt it's well ventilated. So as I said earlier, that well-ventilated areas when working with chemicals is very important. I believe that's reflected down here. Possibly in his art, he's huffing a lot of fumes while he's down here. Though also he lives in a weird-ass apartment.
That's for sure.
Benny, your phone rings.
I jump at the random noise. A creepy place. Phone going off.
It is the whatever the factory default ringtone would be, and yeah, it's Bennet. Hello, it's Bennet. There's no one there. Hello.
Maybe it's because we're in the basement. Do you got bars?
I'm holding it up towards the ceiling. Hello. Hello.
Hey, hey.
Oh, hello. Hi, it's Bennet.
It's O'Neill, Agent Owen O'Neill.
Hello, Agent.
Hey, were you inside? Can you let me in? I'm at the front door.
Wait, you're back? Your shift starts in a few hours, right? You're already back?
I checked my watch. Is it not the right time to show up?
You check your watch, and you do a little bit of a double take and you sort of shake your wrist because you're not believing that time. Ward, you pick up on this, and suddenly you get the impression that maybe O'Neill didn't sleep very well last night. But time check wise, it's 3:00. You're early. You're a little early, but not terribly early. That's when you realize how late it is, Bennett.
Yeah, because we went. I checked my watch. I look at Dartford like it's 3:00.
What?
We just left for lunch. It's 3:00. How long have we been in this room?
Well, I don't know. We didn't talk to that guy for very long, just maybe a couple of minutes. And then we came down here. We couldn't have been more than, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 tops looking around this place.
So are you coming up to let us in?
Sorry, O'Neill. Sorry, time has got away from us. We're in the basement.
You guys need to keep your heads on straight. I mean, I know that this place is spooky and everything, but you guys are like not every explanation is UFOs overhead, taking away your time and messing you up. All right. Sometimes just look, can you let me in?
We will be up. Yeah, we'll be right up there. We're in the basement. I'll hang up.
Okay.
Dartford, let's go check out Abigail's cubby before we go up there. I mean, since we're down here, just makes sense.
A quick look inside Abigail's basement storage area. It reveals next to nothing. Dust. You think that's a rat over there? In fact, you're pretty sure it is. It doesn't do anything when you walk into the room. It sort of stays where it's at. But there's not much else down here.
You don't really need a storage unit with anything stored in it when you keep an apartment like Abigail's. So I guess it makes sense. All right, let's go relieve the night shift.
I'm sure they will be relieved.
Any of those paintings give you any sort of shivers?
Creepy as fuck.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
You guys head upstairs, back into the apartment, and you see Ward and O'Neill standing in the hallway outside of Abigail's apartment.
Do you want like a chili cheese fry? I brought one.
I am heavily rolling my eyes.
Oh, yeah, because we were going to go to lunch. We actually were on our way to lunch when we went downstairs, and so I am famished.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'm going to share these because these are amazing. They are just covered in the most plastic of cheeses.
Mm-mm-mm.
They are very filling.
I'm figuring we should do like a pretty good turnover every shift, especially if we're going to start interacting with people. Like, you know, we did with Thomas, and I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. So what do you been up to?
Just for the handler's note and for the audience, of course, is this conversation happening inside Wright's apartment or in the hallway?
Inside.
Yeah, inside.
If Brett or Agent O'Neill starts talking, I'm shake my head, do a finger and unlock the door and go inside. Throw the door wide so you can revel in all the clearing work that's happened.
Yeah, they have been busy. They have gotten one of the smaller walls cleared off, and it looks like you could open that window if you really wanted to.
Yeah, we had the window open. It's pretty better with it open.
So you cleared a wall and we got a window open. Okay, cool. I mean, if that's it, then we're good.
Well, and we went into the basement and we also talked to the neighbor briefly. Oh, the supers doesn't exist.
What do you mean the super doesn't exist?
So we were going to talk to the super, the one whose name we have, Mr. starts with the C, Bennett. What was the super's name?
Castigue. It was the fella that Mr. Manuel had told us about.
Yeah, so we didn't know where he was. So we went and talked to next door neighbor, and he told us that there is no Mr. Castigue. And there's no super, really. There's like the lady that owns the place or whatever. LaChance.
And I've got my little notebook out. It was Roger Karen. He's over, I think, a 3A.
That's really odd.
It is.
The other thing, we left around lunchtime, just a little before noon. Now, take this how you want to, but left a little before noon. We were a little peckish, normal lunch. Had our conversation with Mr. Karen. It was quick because he wasn't very interested in talking to us. Went down to the basement, poked around in Mr. Manuel's storage locker. You called me 3 hours later. Now, I don't have anything to put those things together. I'm just laying out what happened. But I'll tell you what, we was not in that room for 3 hours. Sure didn't feel like it.
So are you currently taking any prescription medication?
Agent, no.
But we did ask the other guy that, and he told us no business. It was not our business.
Fantastic. Okay, so there's a writer down the hallway. He doesn't know this super guy, and we found and the super guy was the guy that Thomas mentioned. So, okay, differing stories about that. Okay. And you said something about, so he's a writer, we have a painter, we have an art thing.
He made mention of the fact that this place is full of artists. So I don't know, maybe it's like a commune.
What, the whole building?
Like on purpose?
That's what he said.
So you're telling me if I go knock on one of the other doors, I'm going to find another artist?
Might be funny to try.
All right, well, if that's all that happened, so there's paintings in the basement. Tom, you saw Thomas's paintings. Are they any good? Are they shit?
I'll glance at Dartford. I'll say, and a couple other weird things in the apartment too, of course. This thing keeps giving up gifts. What was that thing you found, Dartford? That map?
Yeah, the Macallistar map. Yeah, it's weird. Because it is a map of this building, but with extra things.
Where is it? Do you have it? Can I see it?
What do you mean extra things?
Well, it talks about the night floors and the super Mr. Castigue. There's a parlor, and there's like a path that goes to the night floors and something. Here, let me find it. I'll look for it.
So she produces a piece of paper. Looks like it's butcher block paper, something like that.
But it looks like someone was marking things that they saw around the building, but on the night floors. And it's strange because Mr. Castigue is on here, which that other gentleman told us about, but then the other one didn't know about him. Another weird coincidence is that it talks about the parlor, which the play also talks about a parlor, smoking lounge.
A what?
The smoking lounge in the play.
What? Where's this play?
I'll look for the play.
You have to go into boxes, the two of you, to find the evidence. But you eventually locate the play, single sheet of paper, typed like on a typewriter.
I went and scanned through the tape that we pulled out of Thomas's apartment, and somebody mentioned a smoking lounge in that. I think it was Thomas's voice.
Now, is there a smoking lounge on the map or just the parlor? I don't see a smoking lounge laid out.
It is listed as the parlor, but then in the play it says the parlor, a smoking lounge.
Okay, so like on the roof?
Well, it might be, but I don't know. But it looks like it's something that has to go to the night floors. Like those floors are only there at night or something. Like that's a path, and the parlor and Mr. Castigue are there. It says to the night floors.
Have you been to the roof?
No. We've been to the basement, though, which is the opposite.
Where the map says down up on second floor, is that where we know either the stairs or the elevator are?
Yep. you have passed the up arrow on that bottom portion of the Macallistar map image. That up arrow is right where the stairs going up to the second floor are.
Okay.
Yeah, the general floor plan seems to sync.
Okay, so did you go to the second or third floor or to the roof?
Nope.
So you've been to the basement and you've been...
We went to the basement.
Okay. Well, we're here a little early. Do you have anything you need to follow up on?
I got some calls I could make, but if we want to go as a group to anywhere, we could also stick around for that.
I'm good here. What kind of calls? Just curious.
In character, I'll be moving through my little notebook.
Mm-hmm.
I have an itch to talk to whoever runs the art gallery where Abigail had sold this art. See if we might be able to get either a picture, some eyes on it. I'd be interested in what kind of art this was. Also to get a history. I mean, is it 15 pieces sold? That seems pretty good to me. I just want to get a picture from a professional. Is that a great night? Is that out of the ordinary? Is that just normal kind of thing? What kind of money are we talking about here? Is it enough to disappear? Maybe she made a couple $100,000 off this and she just skedaddled. That's not out. So I'd like to talk to them. I got some other things that I'd like to follow up on, just some of the random pieces. And I do want to give a call out to Abigail's daddy. He's, I think, a police officer. And so he might be able to share some information.
That's a good lead. Look, there's been weird stuff on the walls, but nothing like out of Ghostbusters 1 or Ghostbusters 2. So like, here's the deal. My hope is she skipped town with a boyfriend and there's a bunch of weird shit on the wall and we take it down and we burn it and we're good. This honestly, it sounds like a bunch of stoners living in a building together and some chick disappeared. And before she did, she got really high on glue fumes and stuck everything that she could to the wall. And then that's it. And then we're good. And they got some sort of, game going on in the house. I'm exhausted. But I'm here to pull another all-nighter with Agent... I have to look at your name tag again. Ward.
Well, Agent O'Neill, if you are exhausted, you should just go back to the hotel. I can hold down fort for a few more hours while you sleep a little longer.
This is where Brett's bravado and machoism is going to come in, and there's no way that internally Brett's going to... This is just internal voice here, is going to let you stay here overnight by yourself. So Brett's going to be like, nah, I got this. No, we got this. Teamwork makes the dream work. We got this. Let's just start ripping some shit down. And I'll put my chili cheese fries down.
But if you fall asleep, I'm going to shoot you in the leg.
Jesus fucking Christ, Ward. You could also we could go down to the 7-Eleven and buy coffee.
That was a joke, O'Neill.
Those leg injuries will mess you up, son.
I don't really have that part of my brain online. And I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to try to incorporate the stuff that I listen to on the tape. And I'm going to stare at the weird shit on the wall and peel stuff off in an attempt to understand what the fuck is going on.
Fair enough. You get to scraping and to cataloging duty. Given that Dartford and Bennett, their relief here is a little early, are the two of you going to continue going through the building and talking to people? Are you going to dive back into peeling stuff off the wall? What's the plan for the day shift crew?
I'm happy to not be peeling and to not be in that room. Honestly.
Okay, fair enough.
But I hate that I'm about to say this, that I want to be here at night to explore the building at night.
Okay. So if you're going to explore the building at night, where would you do it at?
I think upstairs. I think in general, poking around, see if any payphones appear or disappear. Try to go up to the roof. Try to check out this weird map is stuck with Dartford. And she wants to check out correlations, like where stuff is marked, go look for stuff.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Agent Bennett?
Sort of have an open conversation with Dartford about this, because I've got a little to-do list. My investigative background is sort of taken over, and I know, okay, we got to talk to the art gallery owner. We got to track down this LaChance, talk to them. We got to call this dad. We got to look into this Hotel Broad album and see if it exists. And if it exists, what's the deal with that? So there's these pieces. I don't remember. I do remember, I think a car or a license plate or something found upstate. And now I'm trying to figure out when Abigail's credit card was used upstate. Was it like the same? Was there a connection there? If there was a connection there, I'd be itching on that a little bit too.
Yeah, I think that you probably think back to some of the stuff as far as the license plate goes, and you think after looking in your own memory around, you think you might be stretching.
Okay. I'm just spooked. But I don't really want to leave Agent Dartford off to explore alone. So I'll ask you, Agent, you want company when you're explaining this, or is this something you want to do by yourself? Because I could run down some leads, or we could stick together.
Absolutely, I want company. It's not going to be dark for a little while, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we could always run down a couple leads and then come back at nighttime.
I'm open for that. Yeah. Is there anything you want to punch out? You got a punch list you want to work on, or?
I'd imagine our list is similar.
All right. Sounds good.
So if you're scraping the walls, as was previously stated, Agent Ward, what are you doing with your time? Are you also searching the walls here and cataloging?
Yes, but I'm looking for something very particular, and that's to see if I can find any of the mechanical portions of this diagram that I found earlier.
Okay. You can make me a search roll, as can you, Agent O'Neill. And then we'll keep Dartford and Bennett off camera for a moment. They'll have left. They're leaving the apartment building, or at least the apartment itself.
15% under 50. I find a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I did not find anything because I rolled a 72 over my 40.
Okay. So we'll go to one of the nearby walls where Agent O'Neill is working out stress through scraping. And you find a piece of brown paper, and that brown paper has what looks like sheet music on it. So it's a rather odd series of dots on lines. It seems to be scribbled by a relatively unsteady hand. Beneath it is written, "Let the red dawn surmise what we shall do when this blue starlight dies and all is through." You recognize the dots. It's a musical arrangement, and it seems like there's a melody here.
I don't know what key this is in.
That's true.
So I brought my acoustic bass because I don't go anywhere without my acoustic bass. So it's not on me right now, but it's in the hotel. So next time I'm back there, I'll pop it out and fiddle with this. But do I recognize these lyrics? Is this a popular song I'm supposed to know?
No, it's definitely not a pop song. You don't recognize the lyrics without a successful music roll.
I see a couple of flats here. Can I do a music roll? I have bass.
You can do it. You can supplement your bass for music.
I'm going to roll bass guitar. which is going to be my favorite role ever on this channel. I have 20% in bass guitar. Damn it, 73 over 20.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't place it, but it feels very unique, even amongst the sea of tchotchkes and ashtrays and false teeth and all the other stuff that, for whatever reason, Abigail Wright epoxied to her walls.
How late are we supposed to be till the shift turnover? Is it 7 a.m.?
Yeah, you got a long night ahead, Agent.
If I got time, I'll try to look something up like this tomorrow before I come in the next day. But I'm going to go ahead and place it in a plastic bag. I'm going to put a label on the plastic bag, goes just right, fucked up music. And then I'm going to put it in my pocket instead of the evidence box.
Okay. So you put it in your pocket. And that is where we're going to draw our camera lens here to a close. We will also close the curtain on our stage and offer you an opportunity to enjoy a healthy intermission. Stretch your legs, get some refreshments, and we'll be back for the next installment of Impossible Landscapes, as played by the Always Podcast, as the play continues sooner than you think.